Now, when you look at the markets that we believe are the most exciting over the next few years, they are the data center, immersive devices, and in immersive devices we include both high-performance graphics, professional graphics, as well as console graphics, and the PC market. And so today at Computex, we're going to give you a flavor of our entire product line. A little bit on our servers and our immersive computing in the graphics area, but we're going to spend a lot of time on our PC roadmap and where we're going over the next year or two. So hope you'll enjoy our press conference today. So we're very, very proud and excited to provide a new family of CPUs that we call the EPYC family. And EPYC is really designed for today's data center. It's the idea that we have optimized for today's workloads, that we've really thought about not just CPU performance, but really how to put together the whole system. And we've really thought about how we can ensure that the users in the data center are able to optimize for their specific application. Now, I'll give you a little bit of flavor of what we can offer with the EPYC family of processors. It really is designed for next generation workloads. So we thought about how do we ensure that we get more performance through more cores. So our cores are 32 cores on a single socket, 64 cores on a dual socket. We have more memory bandwidth than the competition. We have more I/O than the competition. And we have dedicated security. And together, these give us a very, very significant leadership two-socket platform. It's not just about CPU performance. It's also about the total system design, including the I/O capability and the memory capability. And what EPYC offers in our single-socket designs is the opportunity to be extremely competitive on performance. So one EPYC processor is actually equivalent or greater than half of the dual socket market today. But with that, we offer unconstrained I/O and unconstrained memory bandwidth, and so that allows you to really develop fairly disruptive systems in the market that reduce operating expense, reduce power consumption, and have up to a 30% total cost of ownership advantage. And so I'll give you just a couple of numbers. We have done some public demonstrations of engineering samples of EPYC, and we see tremendous performance benefit. Whether you're talking about memory-bound workloads, like on the first one here for high-performance computing, or you're talking about compute-bound workloads, which include both dual-socket and single-socket compares to the leading processors in the industry, EPYC wins. EPYC wins on performance, EPYC wins on power, EPYC wins on overall total cost of ownership. So we're extremely excited about what EPYC will bring to the market. So with that, let me show you AMD's EPYC processor. So, as exciting as EPYC is, and we are extremely excited about EPYC, what we've also said is that the data center requires both CPUs and GPUs, and we actually see incredible growth on the GPU compute side of the market as well. And so we've also developed a new graphics architecture that we call the Vega architecture. And it's not just for gaming and professional graphics, which are, of course, very, very important markets to us. But Vega will be very, very important in the cloud, and particularly with GPU compute workloads like machine learning and so on and so forth. And what we have here is an accelerator that can really offer about 25 teraflops of performance. So very significant performance with optimized software workloads. And just to give you an idea of our machine learning performance, this is an actual performance benchmark showing AMD's Vega processor compared to the competition out there running Baidu's DeepBench benchmark. And you can see that we see significant improvement in performance on this important machine learning benchmark. So this just gives you an idea of what we're capable of in GPU compute. And so the exciting thing for us about the data center is not just the CPU and the GPU, but it's really putting EPYC and Radeon Instinct together in a system that will give us breakthrough performance. So we believe that by optimizing the CPU and GPU together, you will have the best performance in forward-looking workloads, particularly around AI, MI, and deep learning and HPC. And so we look forward to talking to you more about our data center solutions on June 20th when we officially launch EPYC. So with that, let me now transition to the PC business. You know, I have to say, AMD really loves the PC business. Okay, the PC business drives so much innovation. It's over 250 million units a year, and it's a great business for us to ensure that the ecosystem actually works together hand in hand. A few months ago, we announced the Ryzen family of processors. Ryzen 7 in March, Ryzen 5 in April. And we announced 7 processors that really changed the game in the desktop processor market. The highest 8-core performing processor, the lowest power 8-core processor out there, very, very strong Ryzen 5 capability in the 6-core and the 4-core devices. And we really believe that we're bringing a new class of performance to the ecosystem. I am extremely proud and thankful of the ecosystem that's out there with over 200 system integrators with Ryzen family of products, as well as 92 motherboards already in market since the March timeframe. But today is even more exciting because we've used Computex to launch really the OEM market around Ryzen. And so we have all 5 major OEMs launching Ryzen-based systems. So with that, let me invite Jim Anderson up to talk more about our products and where we're going next. Jim?
So we call it Threadripper, Ryzen Threadripper, and this is by far my favorite product name of all of our products. And it's coming this summer. And Ryzen Threadripper is really targeted at the highest performance PC systems. And with Ryzen 7, we introduced 8 cores, 16 threads, but we didn't want to stop there. We wanted to continue to bring that same Ryzen innovation to the highest performance PCs. And so today I want to share a little bit more detail about this new product and this new platform. And first, with the CPU, the number of cores. So with Ryzen Threadripper, we're going to introduce up to 16 cores, 32 threads. That's twice as much cores as we introduced just 3 months ago with Ryzen 7. So we're doubling the core count, doubling the thread count, doubling the compute density and performance. Second, the platform and the CPU will support 64 lanes of PCIe Gen 3. That's an incredible amount of I/O performance, an incredible amount of I/O capacity. So you can hook up all your favorite graphics cards, all your favorite PCIe devices. This is leadership PCIe capacity. And every Threadripper processor will support the full 64 PCIe lanes. Also have 4 channels of DDR4 memory, and again, every one of the Threadripper processors will support all 4 channels. And this will be based on our new chipset, our new X399 chipset. So we're really excited about this platform, really excited to get it to market. And also really pleased to announce that we've got fantastic ecosystem support already. So our motherboard partners, very pleased to announce that ASRock, ASUS, Gigabyte, and MSI will all have Threadripper platforms ready in the market when we're ready to launch later this summer. So, and I also want to say thank you to our motherboard partners. They've been a big part of the Ryzen success to date, and I want to thank them for their great support on Threadripper. But I also want to take the opportunity today to show you Ryzen Threadripper for the first time ever. So this is Ryzen Threadripper. Now it's a little bit bigger than the mobile version, you'll notice, but a lot more compute horsepower. So we're really excited about this product. Now it's fun to show the product, but even better to see it in action. So we're going to ask Kevin to come up one more time.
All right, this is my favorite.
Let's see this big bad boy in action.
Yeah, let's put this beast to work. So what we're going to do here is we're going to show a demo that might look a little bit familiar to you if you've been watching our Ryzen rollout over the last few months. When we first announced the Ryzen brand, one of the first demos we showed of our 8-core 16-thread Ryzen 7 was actually a Blender demo where we rendered a picture of the Ryzen chip. And we actually challenged the ecosystem to say, can you beat this time on Blender?
Yeah,
so I thought maybe now that we're bringing twice as much compute horsepower to the market, maybe we should go back to that same demo and see how fast it looks with Ryzen Threadripper. So let's jump in. So this is Blender, and you may remember that image. That's the Ryzen processor that we unveiled in December and rendered 8 cores and 16 threads. You see in the upper right-hand corner a massive amount of threads there in the Windows Task Manager. You see 32 threads. So let's run the render. I'm going to have to talk fast because this thing is so incredibly fast that this render completes in a matter of seconds. So immediately it peaks all 32 threads and just an incredible amount of horsepower, running the latest Blender app, running that same image that we showed a few months ago, and done just an incredibly short amount of time.
We should almost run it twice.
Just so I have time to talk about it, right?
Time to talk.
All right, so that's Ryzen Threadripper in action.
Beautiful.
Jim.
Thanks a lot, Kevin.
All right,
appreciate it. All right. So we're really excited about Ryzen Threadripper. It'll come out this summer, and we'll put it in the hands of all of those users that really want just extreme performance when it comes to either creativity applications or gaming.
And let me start first with Vega. Vega, as I said earlier, is a very, very exciting new architecture for us in the GPU space. It was really designed for future workloads, and it has the world's most advanced GPU memory with high bandwidth memory, and the idea that you want to handle big, big data sets. So earlier I talked about Vega as part of the Radeon Instinct line for machine learning. What I want to do now is show you Vega in another context. And really, we announced several weeks ago that the very first Vega edition will actually be the Radeon Vega Frontier Edition. And the idea here was really designing for the professional data scientists, visualization professionals, content creators, product designers, people who could really use all of the power of Vega. And with 25 teraflops and 16 gigabytes of high bandwidth memory, it's an extremely powerful GPU. But today, what I want to show you for the first time is not just Radeon Frontier Vega, but what I want to show you is Frontier Edition running with Threadripper. And I heard some of you liked the 64 PCI Express lanes of Threadripper. Is that right? Because part of the reason we designed it that way is so that we really could handle some of the most complex applications in the world. And so the demo that I want to show you today is Threadripper running with the Frontier Edition, but not just 1 or 2 GPUs. I want to show you Threadripper with 4 Radeon Vega Frontier Edition GPUs. Omar, can we start the demo, please? And what this is showing you is really high-performance computing in action. So you see the 32 threads running up there, and then you see that the GPU count is 4 GPUs. And what this is running is Blender with the Radeon ProRender plugin. And what it basically is an opportunity to visualize a very complex render over here. And you can see that every time Omar is actually moving, the photorealism comes in to really recreate the image. And if you think of what content creators really want to do, and professional designers, they want to be able to look at images from every different angle and move back and forth and look at what it looks like in different aspect ratios. You basically can't do this without the horsepower of Threadripper with the 4 Frontier Edition GPUs. And this is really an example of high-performance computing at its best when you optimize the CPU and GPU together. So what do you guys think? Omar, thank you. So with the Radeon Vega Frontier Edition, what we said is it will be the first to launch. And I'm proud to tell you today that it will be available in market starting June 27th, just in a couple of weeks. So The feedback on this has been tremendous. There's a lot of excitement around what we can do with Vega. And as we pair Vega with Ryzen and Ryzen Threadripper, there are lots and lots of opportunities. Now, the last demo I want to show you is one around gaming. And there are a lot of gamers in this world, as Derek said earlier, and they're all enthusiastically waiting for Radeon RX Vega. And we love gamers as part of AMD. And what we wanted to show you today is, again, Threadripper running with the dual Radeon RX Vega that looks really, really gorgeous. So, Omar, can we run this demo, please? And what we're doing here is we're playing the new Bethesda title, Prey, on ultra settings at 4K resolution. So this is Ryzen Threadripper, so 16 cores, 32 threads, feeding 2 RX Radeon Vega GPUs. And we're going to let Omar go a little bit through a few scenes, right, Omar? But what you see is, again, beautiful game performance at 4K in ultra-high settings with the Threadripper and 2 Radeon Vega GPUs. And our message is that for the true enthusiast class performance capability, this combination will be an incredible combination available with Threadripper and Vega. So again, thank you very much, Omar. And again, we know there's a lot of excitement around Radeon RX Vega, and so our goal is to make sure that we satisfy all of that excitement. And I'm also going to tell you for the first time today that the Radeon RX Vega will be launched at SIGGRAPH at the end of July in Los Angeles for 2017. And again, we chose SIGGRAPH because we believe that for high-performance graphics and all the content creation capability there, that this is a perfect place to showcase the Vega product line. So we are extremely excited. You're going to see a lot about Ryzen, Threadripper, Vega over the next couple of months as we launch some of these products. But when I said AMD stands for high performance computing, I was very clear that we are putting our money where our mouth is. So with that, I'd like to wrap up today's press conference. Our goal was to give you an idea of everything that we have going on at AMD. I can tell you, we have never been busier. We have never had more products getting ready to go in the market. We have a tremendous amount of excitement in the PC ecosystem. You saw it from our partners today. You see it from our motherboard partners. You see it from our add-in board partners. And you see it from the community. Because there is no doubt that the market is a lot more exciting today than it was 1 year ago or 2 years ago, because competition is very, very good for everyone in the ecosystem. So I hope you feel the same excitement that we do, and thank you for joining us today at Computex. I think from everyone here at AMD, we thank you for your partnership, and the best is yet to come. Thank you.